Guys, I know I'm a few days late to the party on this, but I have to weigh in on this. The entire gaming industry is up in arms over the fiasco that happened last week with Counter-Strike 2 and how the skins market lost nearly $3 billion in market cap in just a few days. And the crazy thing is, this isn't the first time that we've seen something like this happen, and we never learn. But if we take a step back and reflect upon what just happened, and if we care about preventing this type of thing in the future, then we have to look at the obvious. Crypto and blockchain technology could have prevented this whole thing in the first place. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly how that's the case and why it matters. I'm going to explain all this as a blockchain developer myself who works with this technology on a daily basis and trains other developers on how to do the same. So if you're new around here, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something you're interested in, then smash that like button down below and subscribe. And if you like what you see in this video today and you want to jump on one of the fastest growing trends in tech so that you can increase your income and work remotely, then I can show you how to do that over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. All right, so let's get into this. Let's talk about the Counter-Strike disaster that happened this past week, because there's probably going to be a mix of people watching this video, inevitably some people from the gaming community who already know what happened, but people who are watching my channel who don't really know what just happened. Because, duh, I'm not a gaming channel. I'm a blockchain developer and instructor, but gaming is one of the industries that blockchain technology has a strong value proposition for. So let's dive in. So if you're not familiar with Counter-Strike, it's one of the biggest PC games of all time. Think of it like as the Call of Duty for the esports world. And for years, Counter-Strike has had this massive in-game economy built around skins, cosmetic items that you can trade, sell, or collect. Now, some of these skins are worth hundreds, all the way up to tens of thousands of dollars. But here's the thing, all those trades, all that value lives entirely inside of Valve's ecosystem, the creators of Counter-Strike. So you don't actually own the skins. You're renting them from the game's database, and Valve can freeze or ban your account whenever they want. Now, fast forward to this past week, a bunch of updates hit Counter-Strike 2, changes to the trade mechanics, marketplace policies, and some back-end stuff that spooked traders. And in just a few days, the total market cap of all Counter-Strike skins, all of them, dropped by almost $3 billion. Yes, billion with a B. It was basically like a digital stock market crash. Prices tanked across the board, trading volume froze, and the entire in-game economy went into panic mode. And that's where the irony comes in, because this exact problem is one that blockchain could have solved. And it's even more ironic because this is the exact reason why programmable smart contract blockchains were created in the first place over 10 years ago. So back then, a 19-year-old kid named Vitalik Buterin was playing World of Warcraft. And one day, Blizzard, the creators of Warcraft, decided to just change one of his favorite abilities. And he couldn't do anything about it. And all that time and effort he put into grinding away for his character was gone overnight because, a centralized company just flipped a switch. And that moment hit him hard. That's when he realized, wait a second, players don't actually own anything in these virtual worlds. And the stuff that you think is yours, your gear, your items, your progress, it all exists at the mercy of a company's database. And that exact experience led Vitalik down the rabbit hole that eventually, led him to create Ethereum, the number 2 cryptocurrency by market cap and the number 1 smart contract platform out there by market share. He wanted to build a blockchain so that, ownership, code, and value could live independently of any centralized authority. And so fast forward today, and it's kind of wild that over a decade later, we're watching the exact same lesson play out again, just on a much bigger scale. And this time it's not, a lost spell in World of Warcraft, it's $3 billion in digital economy built on borrowed ownership. And so yeah, that's why blockchains were created in the first place. And not just for games, but I'm saying a gaming incident is what led to this entire ecosystem where you can do things like, digital finance, you can do gaming, you can do all types of stuff. Because we first had Bitcoin, then Ethereum came along, like I was talking about. You can model all types of things with smart contracts like cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and you guessed it, in-game items. So let's look at how basically blockchain could have fixed this problem in the first place. So, instead of your skins existing inside of Valve's private database, it would exist as a token on a public blockchain. That means it has a unique ID, like a serial number, that can be verified by anyone, and only one person can own it at a time, and this ownership is provable on chain, okay? And there's no way that a centralized, entity can take it away from you or do something with the entire collection of the items themselves. So even if the game company updates the server, shuts down the marketplace, or changes the rules, all your items still exist and they're still yours. You can trade them, you can sell them, you can lend them, or even use it in a different game if developers decide to support it. That's real digital ownership, all right? That's what gives the item scarcity because there's a fixed number of tokens and the code enforces that limit. Nobody can just print more, duplicate them, or freeze your account because they don't like you. So imagine if Counter-Strike skins were built like that. Like the $3 billion market crash wouldn't have erased people's assets overnight because the assets wouldn't depend upon a single company's internal system. They live on a blockchain where ownership is code, not policy. And now I can already hear the critics in the comment section. All right. I actually watched the CoffeeZilla video where he talked about this episode, and he even brought up crypto and said, yeah, maybe crypto, but I don't think crypto would have fixed this in the first place. You can go watch this full breakdown, but his main argument was this, is so many so-called crypto games aren't truly decentralized, okay? They're decentralized in name only, they still control servers, the minting process, the item supply, and they can still pull the rug out from under you just like a centralized game. So yeah, he's right about that point. A blockchain doesn't magically create fairness just because you use the word NFT, all right? If the developers can still issue new skins, inflate the supply, or change the metadata, then you haven't solved anything. You've just rebuilt the same broken system on a shinier backend. But, and that is the big but, it's not a limitation of blockchain, all right? It's a limitation of how people have used it. All right, the tech itself, it can absolutely enforce real scarcity and real ownership if you design it that way from the start. And that's the thing. The technology already exists. We've already got the tools. It's totally feasible. We've seen versions of this actually work in other collectible spaces where ownership is transparent, provable, and enforced by code, not, policy. At this point, it really comes down to whatever the market is willing to tolerate. So if gamers keep pouring money into ecosystems where the company can flip a switch and delete your stuff, then yeah, it can keep happening. But if we start building this type of thing on blockchain and people start valuing that kind of true digital ownership, then we can actually fix the problem. Because the promise of blockchain was never about hype or speculation. It was about giving people control over the things they spend time, money, and creativity on. And maybe the Counter-Strike 2 market crash will finally make people realize that, especially in the gaming space where they're grinding away for digital ownership, when really it's not ownership right now. So yeah, at the end of the day, this isn't just about Counter-Strike, it's about where digital ownership is headed. We've proven the tech works, now it's just a question of whether we'll build on it. And that's why we need more blockchain developers, and that's why I have this channel. So if you really want to realize this vision, where gamers truly own their assets and the next generation of digital economies are fair, open, and player-driven, then we need more people writing code that makes this possible. And so if you're interested in working remotely, increasing your income, and jumping on one of the fastest growing trends in tech out there, then this is your moment. There's a huge overlap between gaming and programming, so if you're the type of person who loves sitting in a computer all day and actually creating something valuable, then you're halfway there. So make sure you smash that like button down below, hit subscribe so you don't miss a video. And if you want to get started building today, you can go to my YouTube homepage. You can see my free courses there. They're like Udemy courses, but they're totally free. And if you like those videos and you want to take the next step, or hey, maybe you want to take a master shortcut entirely, I can show you how to become a blockchain master in as little as 90 days so that you can do stuff like I'm talking about, like increase your income, work remotely, and jump on this incredible trend in technology over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. You really don't have to be an expert to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding experience become real-world blockchain developers in a matter of months. So that's all I've got. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.